Ladies and gentlemen, let's spend the upcoming hour together and analyze the Bitcoin chart. There we are. Good to have you here. Welcome, everyone. Focus, focus. Okay, there we go. What a beautiful trading day. Once again. Oops, I'm gonna park you guys on my screen here. Okay. So, in today's live stream, we're gonna mainly focus on Bitcoin and answer questions, which generally is educational. So we have done so many alts over the past week that I think it is good to... where's my Linktree? Oh, here we go. This is the altcoin playlist. Linktree in the description. Altcoin Elliott wave analysis. Click on this button. It will open this playlist here. And if you want to... Probably your alt is somewhere covered in any of the past few days. So it's always high time frame with regards to the alts. Weekly, daily, so it doesn't change too quick. And therefore, in today's live stream here, we're just going to focus on Bitcoin and answer questions from an educational point of view, that is. So good to have you all here. JL, QZ World, what's up, man? Jared, welcome. Rodney, Boris, Bina, and Mateus. So I think Bina might be one of the people on the channel that has the most comments on my channel, period. And then also the most hearts, because I always heart comments whenever I read them and answer them. Good to have you here, Bina. You might still be in a bit of a battle with Flotty, though. Flotty is another one that used to do that, but since he's in silver and gold and diamond, usually the analysis of silver itself is good enough, so he doesn't always watch the videos or comments in the videos. But yeah, you're definitely up there. Perkyo, welcome. Good to have you here as well. Choop choop. Indeed. How's your weekend so far? My Saturday so far goes according to plan. So, look, yesterday... Yes, Sidiums, you're always there as well. But I'm talking about the comments below the videos. So every video, Bina has a comment like "Thank you." Legionario is another one. Legionario is also a guy that always comments. John, by the way, there's a John here, and he also always writes something. So I recognize the names, but. Welcome, everyone. WXYXZ. Yeah, might be something we have to look for here, no? I would be interested in looking for actually a bit more downside to hit some support. Now, I do know that Smith has a lot of power when it comes to moving Bitcoin up and down. And his, that's a joke, of course, and his AV web lines are a very... interesting way of analyzing the chart, and we actually just hit a anchored VWAP line. Let me actually get this here. 1 second here. I'll put it. The picture is shared in Discord, so there we go. So there you go. So he has two VWAPs on his chart, as you can see. One from the low, one from the high here. This one, and. Currently, the VWAP they're touched. Now, I would prefer personally to actually see a bit more downside and touch the golden pocket with the value area lows here and the value area high of this volume profile. So it's a nice bit of confluence in this area. And then below, you have the 786 with a daily and a daily naked point of control. So I wouldn't mind. So the first structure does look a bit three-wavy. So I wouldn't mind having... I know, like a WXYXZ here. 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, we could potentially count 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to look. Look, I just opened the chart, right? Like, and opened the live stream. I still have to analyze. Maybe there's potentially a diagonal here, and then you have your B, and you look for a C down. So internally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but it would still be nice to actually touch support. Now, I just before going live, I did write to Silver. Probably some members here, of course, well, all the members pretty much. Sidiums, by the way. Welcome, dude. Welcome to Gold again. Good to have you here, man. Thanks for joining. Do you already have the role or not? I'm actually not sure. If not, fill in the form and we'll get you sorted, Sidiums. But just before the stream, I wrote to Silver. It's been, like, compared to the analysis yesterday, not too much has changed. So I wrote to Silver this morning. I put some, new support and resistances on my chart and just some general stuff. And then just before the stream, looking at the move down, of course, I saw the acceleration here. I said, look, we have a little bit of volume here coming in, right, which now sits in the low. There's always the potential of an impulse to the downside. But my next message was that it is weekend. And generally during the weekend, you don't start or accelerate into impulsive structures like a bigger, and I'm talking about a big 5-wave structure with a expanding 3, right, which is most common. So during the weekend, generally, you have ranging and corrective structures. So therefore, if you look at this move down, this first move down here, we'll deep dive into this in the analysis, but there's definitely a way to count this as a 3-waver, which then either leads me to a corrective structure down, like, for example, a double zigzag or a triple zigzag, or the potential of counting a diagonal over here, and then look for an ABC of some sort. But we'll analyze the chart. We'll analyze the chart. My pleasure. I like for everyone to know about your analysis. Thank you, Bina. I appreciate your comments. I don't know what the algorithm. So the algorithm, I think, values most watch time, but comments, likes, anything, shares, and all that stuff, it works. It helps reaching more people, and hopefully they get as passionate about Elliott waves as we are and learn a thing or two and enjoy it in their trading. Clumsy, welcome. Happy to join you on this beautiful Saturday. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming in. It's weekend. Nice to see you here. And Sam, by the way, everyone, is on his way to the slopes. He's going to go skiing. And he lives in Austria. So enough mountains probably in the area and enough ski resorts to have a good time. Man, I love snowboarding myself. Enjoy, Sam Perkel. What do the degrees in the AVWebMe usually see bounces on these lines as well? Yeah, so with the anchored VWebs, you tend to take them from important highs and lows, right? End of a correction and start of an impulse, or the end of an impulse, for example, which is what Samith did in the picture I just showed. Right, so let me open it again. So he took one from the low here, which then is the start of your impulse, and from the end of your impulse, right? So start of a corrective structure. And they are just support resistance area, it's not nothing more, nothing less, really. You can have weekly anchored VWebs, daily anchored VWebs, 1 hour, 5 minutes if you want. It's just another tool that you can use. And of course, if an anchored VWeb is lining up with some other confluences, it can be very interesting to use. So now we get back to actually having a plan and a strategy, right? And developing it. By the way, the video about building a plan or a strategy is finished by my editor. But I haven't yet had the time to even watch it myself. So let's see. Yeah, 6 steps to becoming a profitable trader in less than 90 days, which in my opinion is doable if you have an easy plan. I mean, probably you can even do it in 60 days, 45 days. if you use simple tools. But I haven't even watched the video yet. So I don't even know how long it is. Let me check. How long is it? I'm opening in my on my second screen here. So I just quickly want to see how long did we make this video. 1 second. You're going to hear probably in the background. Okay, it's 8 minutes. 8 minutes and 39 seconds is the video. And then we talk about the 6 steps to become a profitable trader, right? So, and I always talk about these 6 steps in live streams and answer questions. Let me show it to you guys. So this is what's called a talking. This is new. This is, guys, this is the first video ever going to be on my channel that is a talking head video. That is why I got the prompter. If you've been following me on Instagram, I'm very active in Instagram stories. You've seen my setup this morning. I made a video where I recorded the setup. I got to be honest, I still have my quote unquote old laptop because the new one, right? It's not yet set up. Plus, I need to get used to MacBooks, so I don't yet have that experience. But I now have like during Black Friday and all that stuff, got all sorts of new little things. And one of the things is the Elgato prompter, so I can have a text and talk and look in the camera while basically reading, right? Having a script which my editor makes, I check it, I adjust it, and then record it. And this is the first video ever. And I haven't even seen it myself, that is made using the prompter, the script. And it is a educational video. And this is something that we plan to do every week, or at least every 2 weeks. Upload a video like this, which is educational, right? So it teaches you certain steps or a plan, or gives you tips and tricks and whatnot. So I haven't even checked it. So I have no idea what appears in this video, but I was that person. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, of course. I'm gonna check this after the stream and then either confirm it's okay, or if there's some improvements to be made, I'll let the editor Lachlan know. He's also in Discord, by the way. So if you see something and you're like, yo, shit, this short was amazing, or this video is so well edited, and then I'm talking about these type of videos, right? Then make sure to tag @Lachlan, like his name is Lachlan in pronunciation, but it's written as Lachlan, right? He's in the Koens team, currently sleeping because he lives in Australia. Just tag him and let him know. Let him know he's the newest member of the Koens team. So he loves seeing the comments and keeps an eye on Discord and all that stuff. When my trading account gets to 10K, I will become a gold member. Earned 2,500 so far and only about 1,500 to go. I've studied almost everything you put out. Great job, good job, Rodney. Congratulations on your progress. And feel like, unrelated to the goal, of course, feel free. Like, there's no pressure in becoming gold or silver or diamond or affiliate or what other way to support the channel. But by all means, I just really enjoy hearing that you and probably some other people here are hopefully doing better than they used to do by watching the content, studying, like teachings that are online. And hopefully I can add my 2 cents into someone's journey. There's a lot of stuff out there, like my Elliott wave playlist, right? The beginners playlist and whatnot. So congratulations on your progress, man. 2,500 so far, only about 1,500 to go. You're gonna get it. Trade safe, right? Like, sometimes there's the urge, I talk from experience, where you have a certain trading goal and you start to get close to the goal, and then you start to make silly mistakes because you're like, I'm so close, today's the day I'm gonna get it. And then you're gonna run your trade just that little bit longer than you usually do, or you know what I mean? You're gonna change your approach, and it might in the end actually be a problem. So 10K is a nice number. Of course, focus on the execution. Muganduzi, welcome, good to have you here. Perkil, in the settings of the AV web, you can select degrees. Ooh, I don't really have experience with that, to be honest. I never changed that sort of stuff. I never used the anchored. Yeah, I mean, I have tried all of the tools that TradingView have to offer. It's just that I personally never messed around with it. So what's this? Source. Okay, source. But this is where collecting data comes in, right? So you need to know. I don't know where the degrees are. Here? No. I guess source maybe. But this is where, of course, collecting data comes in. So if you use the anchored VWeb, right? Oh, that is what we were talking about before I started talking about the 6 steps video. So creating a plan or a strategy, the anchored VWeb can be one of your tools. And then maybe in confluence with a golden pocket or value levels or whatever. Then it's about collecting data, right? So how does it react by itself as a single tool, and then you implement it into strategy with multiple tools and see what the confluence brings you. So yeah, looking to grab some alts soon. We covered, of course, as you've seen, very likely a lot of alts. So by covering all these alts, like this is just the past 2 weeks. I mean, it's insane how many different alts we've covered. So I do keep my eye open whenever I'm analyzing an alt and I have a feeling like, oh, there's some potential here. I see what I want to see. I don't mind adding it, but I'm not really a trader in those type of like in altcoins. It's more of, I suppose, yeah, investing or spot or something. About 45 to 60 days if you study and keep the basics. Yes. Yeah, if you use basic tools, then yeah, absolutely. Like you can make a plan very quickly. But in the title, we used 90 at the moment as the people probably spend most time in the psychology section, even though they don't yet know that's probably what they have to work on the most. Like building a plan with your technicals is easy. It's the execution that's going to, for a considerable amount of people, the execution is what's going to take the most time. Execution, trade management, trade psychology, yeah. Channel's been needing that 6 steps video. Yeah, I know, right? I know. But quality above quantity. Now, Milo, what's up? Jeffrey, welcome. Thanks, Milo. Dr. Volson, hi, Koen. I have a question. How do you decide which bars to use for the volume profile and the point of control? This depends on first of all, the information that you want to have displayed on your chart. And second, what time frame are you analyzing, right? So I'm currently on a 15-minute time frame. This is a 15-minute range, which in other words means that the vertical, how big this range in price, it's not that big, right? So I have a couple of presets, right? So these are the rows, which you find here, right? Row size. So on a 15-minute time frame with this size range, I can use a 148, I can use a 300, which was the setting it was on, but it makes no sense to go to 1000. I don't need this detail, right? If I want to use 1000 or even 5000, then it makes a lot more sense to go to a monthly chart, right? Because you gotta think it like it this way, right? You use a volume profile, it has a certain amount of bars, right? Look, now, what's this? 148. Look, this, the chart is so big, and now this whole chart from the low to the high is covered in only 148 bars. So on a monthly time frame, it makes a lot more sense to go to 5K or go to 1K, right? So that you get a lot more information, right? A lot more detail. Now, this is the monthly chart. It's quite extreme, but maybe in some charts you're actually gonna use the monthly chart. But if we do use the weekly, for example, right, we analyze the weekly time frame here, and we take the range from here to here, because this has been the range here. So it is Toggle this off, extend right off. Right now, currently my setting is on 5K, which for me, it's too big, right? It's too big for this. So I'm considering going to 1,000 or 500, right? And it also has to do with the speed. Oh, this is good. This is nice. So now you can see some of the bars as well. So 500, perfectly fine here. So yeah, it's the size of the price action that you're analyzing, because more bars means more information, right? Like you're basically cutting the price action into small pieces. Imagine you have a ham in front of you, right? Or a sausage, right? And you have like this cutting automated, like you put that sausage against and it just cuts, right? You can cut it into very, very thin pieces, right? Or you can cut it into big pieces, right? And each cut has their benefits and their negatives, let's say. What the fuck is this example? But basically what I'm saying, right, is if you have a sausage and you make small cuts, you get more detail, right? And on a high time frame, you want to have more cuts in order to see the detail, no? You don't want to have 148 row size on a weekly time frame. But on a 15-minute time frame here, right, because I don't cover a lot of information and it's a small range, 148, 300 row size gives me more than enough. I don't need 1,000 or 5K. Yo. What's up, Patrick? Cheers, Farah. I'm working with one of the best trades from Germany. Maybe you want to expand more globally with us. Send me a DM. Yeah, always interested to hear more. Germany, not even that far away. Yeah, I know. I just was like, my grandma has that machine with the sausage, so it was the first thing that I thought of. You know, when I'm at my gran and like she has like ham or whatever. It's just the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, Patrick, I mean, you feel free to send me a DM on Discord or wherever. Your teaching is so down to earth. The why that you give is what. Yes, I did get burned this week for staying just a little too long. My psychology got me. Thank you, Rodney, and trade safe. Like look for the good opportunities. So I had a plan this morning. Wait, I have it on my chart. I had a plan this morning, which was, is it this one? Yes. Wait, I had a text. Oh yeah, there we go. So earlier this morning, I was like, yeah, I do my analysis. I was looking for a short, and in the morning I just put my position somewhere here, like randomly, and then I said I need bearish CVD somewhere, and only then am I interested. So that was my plan in the morning, and then price here touched the point of control, moved up, created bearish CVDs here. Perfect. Entry short. So just like yourself, Rodney, in the morning or wherever, just prepare, right? Know what you want to see. Wait patiently and execute. Right? No change in plans, even though you're almost at the goal. So my goal was, well, I'm interested in a short because of the analysis of yesterday. We took the highs. I was asleep over here as well, so I was not involved. I don't have limits set. I don't like limits when I'm sleeping because I can't control anything. And I wake up, I see price moving down. I don't see 15-minute bearish CVD divergences. So I was like, well, I'm interested in a short, but I want some signs of weakness, which I got. Boris, add it again. Boris Kostov. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the 5 gifts. I appreciate that, man. Once again, thank you, Boris. Mia, Novinsek, Justin, Bison, Rhetorical, David FX, and 5D Universe Trading. Make sure that you guys and girls fill in this form. Just select gifted, bronze gifted, and I will bump you up to the silver membership. Thank you, Boris. Appreciate it. And dude, keep some money for yourself. Like, get a croissant or an Obelix at this. We won't get to analyzing this way, guys. Jeez. It's weekend. Invest your money in your breakfast, your lunch, your wife, your kids. Get some fries at the soccer game of your kid, or yo, Boris, man. Boris, Obelix also added again. Wasn't it? Oh no, last time it was Obelix Slipstream or Obelix Boris. I mean, it's not the first time for both of you, but yo, guys, thanks for doing it. Thanks for the support. Boris, Obelix. So now all the others, of course. Dr. Volzen, King Uwe, Ernest of Gaia, Green Granda, Moho, Dexter, Berkai, Cell, Manauf K, Stonks Dave, Fib Newton, 618. Fill in this form. Select gifted silver, gifted bronze, and we'll bump you up to silver. Cheers, Boris and Obelix. Rahul, welcome, by the way. Veronica, good morning. Exactly, Michael Medina. That's my thinking. Any comprehensive plan for the correction? Yeah, let's get to the analysis. Does open interest have to increase when looking at CVD? No. It depends. You can, of course, use open interest with CVD, yes. But I don't use open interest. So depends on what you're looking for, right? If you look for an impulse, wave 3, and you see open interest increasing, it means that people are joining the move. If open interest is significantly decreasing, it means many people get wrecked, but I don't use open interest with CVD myself. Do you think it is a flat on the 50-minute time frame? It's weekend, so if this is a flat, this has to be a wave C. And at the moment, because it's weekend, I'm not sure if I like a wave C that accelerates during the weekend. It makes, so I'm also considering a WXY or a WXY-XZ locally here. Yeah. Christian, welcome. Boris, what a guy. Boris and Obelix, and thank you guys. Today I'm happy that I'm finally home after the repair, and I want to show my gratitude to you because you helped me a lot through your analysis to also be able to trade. Yeah, so I won't say all the details, but Boris's house basically burned down, and which of course, I mean, for anyone would have a little bit of an impact on your life, no? So happy to hear that you were still able to trade, as I know, and because we chatted, and that now you are home after the repair. It must feel good as well, right? Now that you're back home, same house. No? I mean, it was burned down, but at least it's renovated, repaired. So, and happy to help. Happy to help, right? Happy that I could help in some way, shape, or form. Of course, I also tried helping with the message in Discord, but cheers, Boris. Can you remind us? Gold is it's all about shortening the learning curve of. 1 second here. Shortening the learning curve of learning Elliott waves. So, first of all, we have a very active Elliott wave group with great analysts, including myself, where I am most active. I have a couple of playlists with extra information, a coin coverage playlist with analysis from empty charts to existing charts and feedback videos, and some more like longer videos on Elliott wave structures, and it's all about also feedback and Q&A. So I am there. I'm most active in the group. I check all the channels in Discord, but I am most active in Gold. And whenever there's a question, right, like people just write a question, or they have done an analysis on an alt and they ask for feedback or have certain questions. And that's what I'm there for. And then occasionally, if I do get too many questions and I can't really keep up, I'll just boot a live stream and I just answer all the questions in a live stream. Doesn't happen too often because generally I'm quite okay in getting the questions done. So, but it's all about shortening the learning curve, right? Because Elliott waves can take a very long time to learn, which is no problem. That's what I did. Also because I didn't really know of any good sources. But now I have the opportunity to help people, and instead of having them figure everything out themselves, they can ask questions, and it just increases the learning curve. They learn so much quicker by having someone there, and also a group of people, because of course in the Elliott wave group there's great analysts that are very active there on a daily basis. You just improve a lot quicker, besides then the questions, Q&A, other playlists that I have in that group. 1 second here. I'm just foldering all of this stuff. What's this one about? I don't know. Can remove that. Fibs. Oh yeah, that's for later. Okay, let's shortly have a look at the analysis. Here's your bearish CVD, by the way, that I spoke about. So in my morning analysis, right, my goal was going short today, but I wrote down I need to see bear CVD, which we got with this retracement up. So that was the entry. Okay. How far we... Oh, no. This won't take long, by the way, because most of you know what's up. So here we go, right? Conservative bullish scenario on the weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5, you look for retracement. Preferably, we are not yet finished, and look for some more upside. Second scenario is actually on the short term, preferably the same. This, in potentially a bigger bull market, which your second scenario is, continuation, right? This, in both scenarios, is relatively similar price action, right? In both cases, we preferably still look for price to move higher, only to then come back down. And in a bull market, it is quite normal to see bigger retracements, right? So in this case, depending on where price goes, having a 20, 30, maybe even a 40% retracement in the middle of a bull market is no problem. But in the most bullish scenario, that would be something to look for, right? Because this structure here with a couple of 1-2s, currently working on a few 4-5s, right? Uppy. But at the moment, it's unlikely you're just going to do this, right? So instead, you can just see it with the grind that we had here, explosive move up, and now we are basically grinding again. One has to be aware of 1-2s, 3, and then you're looking for your 4-5s to end an impulse. And this impulse is then either in a bearish scenario, your 5, end of the bull market, bigger move down, or another wave 1, you look for a bigger 2 again and continuation. Right. You could even then therefore also potentially retest the previous all-time high at 70k. So let's see the golden pocket, of course, a common target for a 2, but let's see if the common targets, if price would move to at least 111k, then the 0.5 is on top of the previous all-time high, and the 0.5 to the 786 is a common target for a wave 2. Of course, if price moves up, right, and we want to have the golden pocket there, then you need to go to 150. Now that would be quite now that would be your 50% retracement. I don't know, like 150 is very, very far away. if we are looking for 1 2s, 3 and 4 5s. Never say never though, but preferably we get then this retracement before going that high. But those are the two on the weekly. Similar price action in a way, at least in the quote-unquote short term, because it is the weekly time frame, of course. And then on the daily, the probabilities remain higher to look for continuation to the upside. This hasn't changed since the very beginning of this range. So of course, still looking for price to move up. Here in this scenario, we have the 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 scenario, and alternatively 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, finish blue 3, get a bigger 4, and then start your 5. In both cases, you still look for higher prices. In this scenario here, like the blue 4, I am very intrigued by the potential of a flat to fake people out, grab the liquidity, move down, grab the liquidity while moving down, wreck everyone basically, right? So all the stop losses and whatnot, and then continue to the upside. It's just interesting from a psychology point of view, but at the moment, like, you know, we need signs of weakness for that locally. But in both of the daily scenarios, we still look for price to move to the upside, right? So even if you do get that blue 4 and a bigger retracement down and take the lows of this range, that's all just trade management, but you're still looking for price to move up. And based on the 1 hour time frame, we get a better idea of what to look for, right? So, and then also what to trade. Now, of course, yesterday morning I had some scenarios, so let's see what I had here. Don't look at the line. So the line, of course, I mean, I would now have to do this in a way, but you get the general picture. Oh yeah, good to know, by the way. 1 second here. Before I start with the 1 hour scenarios, I just want to show you this. So the 886 on my chart is now also hit. So previously here, it just missed out. And the 886 was touched on the index chart. It's still good to be aware of it. But now it's also touched on my chart. And the 886, everyone, is a very significant Fibonacci from an Elliott waves point of view. You won't learn about this actually, interestingly, in the books and many sources. But based on research that we did here, the 886, right, very rare for a wave 2, common for B or X. If you do move down from here and do not take the high, probabilities are very high that this is a corrective structure, C, Y, any other correction, and afterwards you take out this high. In other words, touch the 886. It is very common after an 886 touch to get a bit of a retracement. The golden pocket is always an important level to keep in mind, but you expect price to take out this high. Any move coming off the 886 to the downside has a much higher probability of being corrective, not impulsive, increasing probabilities to take out the high. So it creates a bias, and the bias in that case is bullish, and that's good because on the daily time frame we're also looking for price, of course, to move to the upside. Now, what we look for here, I actually gonna make this a bit longer, so I have to update my chart, of course, as we had some new information. And I mean, the line is, you know, arguably is still similar. Of course, we have a bit more price action in this case. Like with the local move down, mind you that having a WXY here also works. W flat, X zigzag family structure, and then of course the possibility of another flat here as this move down. I don't really like to count impulses during the weekend, as it's generally not very common to start or accelerate in an impulse during the weekend. So counting this as the potential of a double or triple zigzag makes more sense, but that would then mean that if this is one corrective structure, flat corrective structure, another corrective structure, you're going to move into WXYs, right? W, X, and then if this is a WXY or WXYXZ, you're going to look for a flat next. And in that case, you would then basically swipe the highs again. With a little bit of luck, you might actually swipe the all-time high. Yeah, it's definitely something I'm aware of. In this scenario, though, you are counting a 1, correction in 2, continuation up. Minimum target is the 382 for wave 2, which has been touched. So it doesn't need to come back to the 382 in this bullish scenario. It can, doesn't have to come back, right? If you're ranging sideways, WXY, Y does not have to take the low of W. It can, it just doesn't have to take it. You can have a W, X, and then a Y, where your Y finishes on top of, for example, the 886 taken from this low to the high. Mind you that this 886 is not relevant with regards to the probabilities I mentioned earlier. You want to take 886s from the start of moves, right? Not from a pivot in the middle of a bigger corrective structure, right? Side note. So, and then after your 2, you look for continuation to the upside in the bullish scenario. No? Here is your bearish scenario. So in this case, we have a 3-wave structure down and a W or A, and then we look for either WXY or a bigger ABC. Now, both of these cost a lot of time. Right, so your B and your X are very big compared to W and A, which does impact the probabilities negatively, right, has to be said, because time, even though it's not an invalidation, it's not a confirmation, it does have an impact on probabilities. And just by looking at the chart, you can see how big this structure is, or potentially even a bigger B, compared to this move down in WA. But you always need a bearish scenario as well, right? I saw a comment the other day of someone saying that covering bullish and bearish scenarios equals analysis paralysis. Lol. Which, well, by the way, which is not true, because you always, as an analyst, need bullish and bearish scenarios. And then you need to know the probabilities. Veronica, welcome to Diamond out of the blue. Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. And make sure to fill in the form, which I guess you did. And then I will get you sorted in Discord, etc. And give you the roles and all that stuff. Yeah, welcome to the Diamond team. Welcome, welcome. Usually it's Jeroen that does the members. However, no, I'm not gonna say this because that's on your. Jeroen did something special the last few days. He's not working at the moment. Besides it's weekend, but also he's not available. But I will leave the honors to him to talk to everyone about what happened recently, and then we can. I'll be very happy. So yeah, welcome, Veronica. So that is why now it's me giving the roles and doing all that stuff. So yeah, welcome, Veronica. Cheers, cheers. So yeah, bearish scenario on the chart, and in this case, of course, yesterday you took out this high, or sorry, this high. So with the polylines, right, we took out this high. So therefore, you want your X preferably to be in, right? And then in this case, you actually need a WX. But yeah, this is not. Doesn't make sense to start a wave C here in such a deep manner during a weekend. So it does support the potential for the bullish scenario where you're looking for WX. Swing the high again, Y, and then the continuation instead of the WXY has to be said though. And for your B flat, I mean, this B is enormous, lowers the probabilities, and we're still not, we're not high enough. So I think we even didn't yet hit the 0.9. I'm not a fan. It's just from a probabilities perspective. No, we didn't hit it. So a flat is not even relevant. The pink line is not relevant. We didn't go high enough. Plus, it B takes so much time, probabilities would be higher for your bullish scenario than any of the two bearish scenarios. One scenario I was looking for earlier was, hey, could we have A, B, C, and then D, E? And then I was like, nah, it doesn't really work because we took out this high, right? So A, B, C, then you need a big D, and then lol, and then you need a three-wave structure to the downside in a wave E. However, your wave E took out this high, which isn't allowed. Oh man, Elliott waves, yeah. That was not an intended pun. So yeah, from an Elliott wave, exactly, Oliver. From an Elliott wave point of view, on the weekly time frame, we're looking up. On the daily time frame, we're looking up as well. Let me focus, guys. And on the 1 hour time frame, I mean, the probabilities didn't really change. Of course, we were looking for price to take out the high at 102K yesterday morning, right? That was the probabilities. At least take out this high and then take it from there, because after taking out this high, there's a few opportunities which then are related to the price action you get after. Now, if we are looking for a flat in an ABC, this needs to be a multi 1-2. But it's not common to have an impulse during the weekend, right? Or have a wave 3 during the weekend. And we pretty much then would look, if this is a multi 1-2, you look for 3 down during the weekend. That's unlikely. So either I want to count a diagonal here and then 1, 2, and then go down, or I look for double or triple zigzags here, right? Which we'll check in a second. Now, again, on the 1 hour time frame, probabilities do start to look better for your bullish scenario. To still look for higher, only at a later stage, maybe take out the low again. But yeah, we also have bullish divergences all the time. Bullish CVDs here, bullish CVDs here. We had them here as well as price moved up. And now we again have bullish CVD here, bullish CVD here. It's just, it just keeps going. So on the 15-minute, right? If we want to be bearish, you need to count this structure down as one of 3 impulsive structures, either traditionally or motive waves, I should officially say. An impulse to the downside, a diagonal to the downside, or a multi 1-2. Let's have a look. Okay, impulse to the downside, 1, 2, there's too much overlap. We can't count this as an impulse at the moment, right? So let's see, volume-wise, highest volume in the low. There is overlap here again as well, so we can't count a nice impulse here. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 and 4 not allowed to overlap. Lots of overlap here, so that doesn't make sense. So then we need to go to a diagonal structure. Now, I quickly, before I say anything, I want to check. Okay, yeah, this is very deep for a flat. So, in other words, what I was checking, if we would count a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this would be a finished diagonal, right? And then this is a flat A, B, C for a wave 2, and then you go down for your wave 3. Yep. Then your wave B in a flat A, right? Move down, B, impulse up, C. Your B retraced all the way to the 1.618 and even wicked far beyond, which lowers the probabilities for a B, right? It's not what you want to see in a B. In other words, it lowers the probabilities that if we want to count anything like a diagonal here, this is preferably not the end. Preferably you're then ending your diagonal at the low. However, can we count a diagonal ending at the low? It's going to be a bit of a struggle. So the first move down, we can count this as a 3. On the 3-minute time frame, I don't really often go here, but you can see here the 3-wave structure. Again, if this would be an impulse, and this is a flat ABC, and then you continue down, then this needs to be a wave B. We take a fib from the start of A to the end of A, you can see the 1.618 is also touched here. It just lowers the probabilities that this is an impulse correction continuation of impulsive structures because B is so deep. So it increases the probabilities for a three-wave structure. Now in a diagonal, you can have a three-wave structure in a wave 1, right? As long as you also have it in a 3 and a 5. So in that case, you would then like to count this as a 1, 2, possibly 3, 4, 5. Problem is, wait 1 second. One second. What did I say? 1, 2. This needs to be your 3, 1. And this is your, there we go. Okay, and now we check the waves. So preferably, of course, every wave is a little bit shorter. Contracting diagonals are a lot more common than expanding diagonals. However, as you can see, the wave 3 in this case, if we want to count this at least as a three-wave structure, right? Which it has to be because we just realized that if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this being an ABC, B is very deep, right? 1.618 is very deep, is definitely not preferred. It's quite rare for Bs to go that deep. So preferably you end a structure here. But the only way to end it is then to count it like this, right? So we have a 3 and then zigzag family structure up, another 3, zigzag up, and then you actually want another 3 or 3 already finished, whatever. Now in this particular case, your 3 here is longer in price than your 1. It's not an invalidation, but it's not like great. It does impact probabilities. It's allowed nowadays, but it's not great to see. And then your 5 should be shorter than your 3, which it is. So your bearish, arguably bearish scenario would then be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. All right, and then we have invalidation. Now that also means that even if we are bearish, we need price to move up. And we do not want wave 5 to be longer than wave 3, so the invalidation is down here. And in this case, we then do this, boom, boom. Change this around and up. Make it nice. Quality. Ooh, blue. There we go. Yeah. Now, unrelated to all the 5-min and 3-min structures here, can you count this as an impulse, yes, no, or whatever? But this would be your bearish count on the 1 hour time frame. Now, for a wave 2, your common target area is the blue box. Minimum target 382. So even if you come down again, you still look to at least hit the 382 then at a later stage. No? Okay, so that is your, I suppose, 15-minute bearish scenario. But even in a bearish scenario, you actually want to still move up in a wave 2, which would be nice, by the way, because then during the weekend, you're going to have your 1, you're going to create a 2 during the weekend, and then 3 is next week. So that is your bearish scenario. Your bullish scenario is to count this as a corrective structure. Most bearish, by the way, would of course be like a series of 1, 2s, but your 1 has to be a 5-wave structure, meaning this has to be a 5-waver, but we just noticed that the probabilities are higher. This is a 3, not a 5. So therefore, a multi 1, 2 and then get a 3 down, especially during the weekend, is unlikely. Okay. Okay. And then, of course, your most bullish scenario is that whatever is going on here, in that case, is a WXY or WXYXZ, which means a zigzag family structure. So you start with your W, you have your X, you get another W, another X, and who knows, maybe a Y. WXYXZ are not too common, but something that I do realize is that if I look at my support and resistance levels, not this big red box here, and I open all of it here, including one of these, not that one, not that one, and not that one, that one, then you can see here we are now still below the point of control. I had a couple of volume profiles. So first, beginning of the range, then I took one of just this section, and then one from the low to where we are now. And we do have some support here. We have some support here. So I'm very interested in looking for reactions at these levels if price can get there, right? Either with the diagonal, right? That would be an ABC, by the way. But also potentially WXYXZ's golden pocket together with the value areas is an area of support. Now, besides the anchored VWAP that Samith shared in the gold group, and I showed at the beginning of the stream over here. Now, I don't use it, but as people that have been here for a longer period of time know how well respected the boxes are. So it would be nice for price to, before we really continue moving, to actually hit some supports. And I don't care if it first does this or if we get into a flat, but it would be nice to hit the golden pocket or the support down here minimum and then take it from there. If we lose that, then the next area of support is here at 97. So taking it level by level. And yeah, that's that. So weekly bullish, daily bullish, and on the 1 hour, the 1 hour is of course just a representation of the higher time frames. But on the 1 hour, preferably continue the range, right? Continue the range. In other words, still looking for bigger corrective structures. Nothing too special. On the 15-minute time frame, though, keeping an eye on a retracement, either looking here for a diagonal and then a bounce and then another leg down, or WXYXZ, WXY structure down, and then look for a bounce. So in both of the cases, we are, of course, eventually looking for price to move up, right? So we have a bit of a bounce now, but you preferably, even if we do come down, I'd be looking for at least another bounce, either directly or indirectly. And then depending on this structure to the upside, we could either look for a flat or we're going to look for a diagonal corrective structure up and then another leg down. And that's that really. Yep. Et voilà. C'est tout, mon ami. 16 December is my birthday. I'm shorting at the moment. Hey, wait. Okay, yeah, 16th. Still 2 days, but on your birthday, right? No financial advice here. But the charts, of course, can be very addictive, right? If you're celebrating your birthday, if you are in a existing position and it's well managed, right? Like you entered a long time ago and blah, 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 like perfect. But on the birthday, enjoy your birthday. You know what I mean? Just make sure that everything that's done before is well managed. I personally, when it's my birthday, I don't do anything with the chart. I either manage everything. I try to avoid anything. I just want to enjoy the day. So, yep. That's the analysis, everyone. I actually have no idea when we started the analysis, but we started with a lot of chatting and Q&A, of course. So, welcome again, Veronica. Let's see, where were we? We were somewhere here. Can we have a flat B here on the 1 hour? I answered that question, I suppose, with the analysis. Then this has to be a diagonal, but then you look for A, B, C, and this is then a running flat, which is very rare if this turns out to be a diagonal structure. So, yeah, it's not really something I'd be looking for at the moment. What's happening on the CVD now locally? Little bit of bullish CVDs here. How do I upgrade to gold or platinum, but on Discord, not YouTube? Go through Patreon. So gold or diamond in that case, you go through YouTube or through Patreon, and then by filling in the form which is mentioned in there, we can get you sorted. So I can then get you the access on Discord, etc., Telegram. But on YouTube, it's the join button below the stream, and for Patreon, do I have that in my description or is it in the link tree? I actually don't know. I think this goes to YouTube membership. I think the Patreon link is probably in the description. Covering bullish and bearish scenarios equals genius analysis. Cheers, Dave. How are you doing? How's Jim? It's been a good year for you, no? Looking forward to learn. That's the motivation. Cheers, Veronica. I'm gonna get you sorted after the stream. On the hourly, where are you holding your short? I already took my TP1 and stop at break even, so I don't really care too much here. If price gives me another leg down before stopping me out, then the golden pocket or support down here would be some good areas to TP again or close the short. But can we be forming a triangle and B is the least high and A the lowest low? A is the A is the lowest low, so that means A. Then this needs to be your B. Well, in that case, if you want to count a triangle A, B here, right? Then from this low, all of this has to be a B, and B has to be a zigzag family structure. So you either need to count W, X, Y double zigzag. In a B, by the way, is very rare. Most commonly, it's an A, B, and then a C. But the fact, preferably if you look for a triangle that started at all-time high, you would have ended here and then look for C, D, E instead of taking the high again. Because now, if all of this is B, the subwave structure looks very ugly. It's ugly for a wave B. Besides, it's very long, but yeah, B is by far most commonly a zigzag instead of double or triple. It's very rare for B. So yeah, it wouldn't be something I'm looking for, to be honest. Sol ETH moving. Interesting during the weekend. Be aware of potential drawbacks. Caleb, what's up, man? How are you doing? Caleb Castro Cabrera. He lives nearby here in Nice. Yo, how are you doing, man? How's work? How's go-karting? I haven't seen any new go-karting trips planned. Yes, sir. What's up? How are you doing? Is a diagonal or triangle able to cut off wicks or even candles? Well, the trend lines, if you use the trend lines, of course, if your trend line can cut a wick, but it doesn't change the fact that in a diagonal, contracting diagonal, 5 has to be shorter than 3. Wave 4 has to be shorter in price than wave 2, right? Wave 3 can be longer than wave 1, but is not preferred though. So, yeah, and if you pull a channel from the end of 1 to the end of 3 to the end of 2, you don't want wave 4 to hit the top of that channel. So, preferably You don't look for clear cuts, but yeah, sometimes it can happen. It's the structure is more important than the two trend lines. But yeah, what you don't really like to see, of course, is if you have a trend line and then price, for example, does that, right? Like or I don't know, like you retrace far above the trend line, like. But then again, what am I saying? Structure is more important than any trend line. So you just got to make sure you keep those things in mind. 4 shorter than 2, pull the channel end of 1, end of 3, end of 2. 4 shouldn't hit the top of the channel in this case. 5 has to be shorter than 3. All the waves 1, 3, and 5 have to be zigzag family structures or impulses. 2 and 4 always have to be zigzag family structures. These are the things that you got to keep an eye on. Bullish until after Christmas? Maybe. Of course, we, as no an analyst really can, you can't answer questions focused on time. So after Christmas, is New Year's Eve going to be bullish or bearish, or where are we going to be by the end of January? We'll see as these days come closer. We'll see where we are and just analyze the chart accordingly, of course. What do you think of the structure before the 886 touch? This move up here, a higher probability is corrective at the moment. I'm looking at this as a corrective structure. It looks like a double zigzag. Pleasure, Ridwan. Rakesh, make sure you trade safe. Manage your positions well. Week 57 complete. What a guy. Good stuff, man. Consistency, Habits. When will this... This is for, I guess, Rakesh, I suppose, right? When will this probability of the wave 4th is over be cleared is ranging since... Whoa. When will this probability of wave 4 is over be cleared? It's ranging since long time. What will be the first time we have started the 5th wave? Impulsing out of this range. Of course, there is already a potential first sign, as we can count a W, X, triangle, and Y here, finished with the potential of 1, 2, 3. So there, of course, there's already a chance your 4 is finished. However, you got to impulse out of the range and continue. That's your sign. Of course, by that time, you're late. So that's why, preferably, based on local analysis, local structures, your own plan, you can look for entries and strength and whatnot in the range. And in case it does move out and continues, instead of creating a flat wave B and then drops again, if it does continue, you're on the right side. It's the ranges. The ranges create the opportunities, not the impulses. The impulses are just attractive to trade because that's where the gains are. But the ranges give you the entries. Those give you the opportunities. And those give you the best setups. Right? So it's the ranges where you want to try and look for setups. And if you know on the weekly and the daily, we're looking for higher prices, well, in that case, you can be aware of, hey, like, of course, I can trade short. And I'd also, once a range really starts forming, I'm happy to go short. But I do realize that my shorts need to be managed a lot tighter than my longs. Because on the higher time frames, the trend is up, probabilities are up. So if I enter a long, I am more, I'm managing, of course, but I give it more room, let's say, compared to shorts. I'm much tighter with shorts than I am with my longs because of the trend. So, yeah. I don't do alts today. I gotta go. Gotta go. Been online for an hour, 50 minutes. The goal was an hour due to the very tight schedule that I have set for myself today because there's so much to do. So, yeah, absolutely, Jesse. I am gelukkig. You said there is a little CFD diverged, but I don't see it. Can you show us again and explain it? Here you go. This is the two greens, right? So I have a whole video about CFD, which I definitely can recommend. So if you go to the Linktree or just to my YouTube channel and you go to the playlist with educational content and we click, and then you see, where is it? CFD here. It's also the most viewed video on my channel by far. So here, Beginner's Guide CFD explains everything. But basically here, price is moving up, creating higher highs on price. However, here on blue, higher low on price, lower low on blue, bullish CFD. And then price continues up, higher high on price, lower low on yellow, bullish CFD. In other words, there's absorption of market shorts with limit longs pushing price up. Here, we had bearish CFDs as price moved down, right? Lower high on price, higher high on yellow, bearish CFDs supported by 3-minute structures, and down we went. So, yo Bishop, how you doing, man? Welcome. Another Pogi. From other schools, there are many things I combine them during my trade, such as FVG, near 618. Yeah, you can use anything in combination with Elliott waves. You know, there's lots of information out there. You just gotta pick your tools and try to put it into a working strategy. Yes, I'm still working to be excellent in Elliott. Matter of time, just like anything. Consistency, just like Dave in the gym. You know, it's consistency. It's gonna get you there. Cheers, Yusuf. Mr. Friends, what's up, man? Oh, it makes me think. I'm going to answer you after the stream. What's up, Mr. Friends? Hope you have a good weekend. The gold analysis. Yeah, the analysis I did about 7 months ago is still very much active. But yeah, let's look at gold, like when we like cover like alts and stuff again, right? So next live stream or... besides alts, we sometimes do stocks and sometimes do commodities. It's just whatever you guys mention. So make sure to mention gold as well. I'll try to remember that when we have a live stream and we go and cover lots of different things again outside of Bitcoin and educational chatting Q&A stuff, we can have a look at gold. The analysis of 7 months, it's still very much alive today, but I can see what happened on the daily and the weekly locally and make it a bit more accurate again. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a awesome weekend. Trade safe. We spoke about the probabilities, weekly, bullish, daily, looking for 4 and bullish 1 hour, continuing the range, at least during the weekend. And on the 15-minute time frame, looking for a bounce, right? Even if you do take out the local low again, looking for a bounce either in a diagonal or a finished WXY or unfinished WXYZ. But in both cases, you're looking for a bounce back up. And then depending on the structure, we'll take it from there, either looking for a flat or potentially an impulse or a zigzag to the downside. But yeah, so that's that really. Pleasure, Jeffrey, Rahul. Beerabit, welcome, popping in at the end. If you haven't seen it yet, go to Discord. Beerabit has its own channel, sharing lots of stuff in there as well. So cheers, Beerabit. Thanks for popping in at the end. I got to go, though. So have a good weekend, and I will catch you again at the next live stream and, of course, also the next video. Cheers.